Okay, I'm going to do another training session. This one's on ZIPFORMS, which is the contract forms that we have to use as realtors. It's provided by Texas Realtors, TAR. So the first thing you need to do is go to texasrealtor.com. Sometimes this site is down. Today it seems like it's working. I already tried it once. So if you're brand new, you're not going to have ZIPFORMS on your computer. So this logged me in automatically. So I'll sign out real quick. But it's going to ask you for a username and password. The username is the email address that you gave to Candy down when you signed up. And she will give you a password about a week later. If you lose it, you can have it sent to your email address. So I'm going to use my email address that's down there, and I know my password. And then you can keep me signed in for 30 days. Once you go here, you're going to click on the top right up here. It's going to say ZIPFORM 6. Your screen will probably look a little different than this, but you're going to click on ZIPFORM 6. And if you go down a little bit, it's going to say log into ZIPFORM 6 Professional or download ZIPFORM 6 Standard. The standard version stays on your computer and you don't have to have an internet connection to use it. The ZIPFORM 6 Professional is online, so you can access your contracts from your office or any computer with internet. I've always used standard, but I think now I've switched over to professional just so I can get on at different places. Also, if your computer ever crashes, you'll lose your current files. And on ZIPFORM 6, they're held online for 14 months. And then you have to back them up after that. So mine says log in. Yours will either say log in or download ZIPFORM 6. It'll have to install some stuff the first time you get on. But that's the one you want, is ZIPFORM 6 Professional. And since I've already got the software on my computer, it does it a little different. But it'll open up a new window with my contracts. And it takes a second to open up, but yours will have to download some Java and just let it do what it needs to do. If you have problems getting to this point, let me know. So I've got all my contracts and stuff in here, and then I can click over on Forms. I don't know why it takes so long. I just did it earlier this morning. Sometimes it has to update your forms. Another good thing about the online version is it automatically updates the forms and contracts if there's a change. Otherwise it takes forever to do on desktop. So this is what your contract form looks like. So as you can see right here, here's all the different forms that we can use. And they've got them alphabetic, numeric, categorized. So there's all listing agreements, there's all commercial stuff, here's all contracts for homes, and then you can search. The best thing to do is create templates. I just started using this online, so I've created one template, and it's for taking a listing. So now I'm going to create a buyer template. So what I'm going to do is template, create template, and this, I'm going to name this template buyer, or I'm going to name it residential buyer. So I know if someone's buying a house, I can use this template. I'm going to click purchase residential and okay. So basically all the template is that you don't have to pick your forms each time. It's going to save the forms to where when you click buyer, it's going to know what forms you're going to use. So I'm going to use the 1 to 4 residential contract. And I'm going to use always information about brokerage services. And you're pretty much always going to use third party. Like I use the ones I'll mainly use. If there's something special I need, I'll go find it. If it's a cash deal, I'll just remove the third-party financing addendum. But that's what I'm using next is third-party financing, because most folks are getting loans. So now every time I get a contract, it's going to have the forms ready. I don't have to find them each time. It'll save time, especially when you got buyers in your office. So now that I've got those 3 forms in there, I think that's all I need, because you'll have a seller's disclosure from the selling agent. You'll have a lead-based paint. You don't need a seller's disclosure. That's pretty much it. There's extra forms in there that you can always add, but that's the 3 I'm going to use. So I'm going to save that template. Okay. So now, let's say I wanted to write an offer on a house. I'm going to click New Transaction. Say this is on 3001 Cumberland, my house. And it's going to be a purchase, and it's going to be residential. So I'm going to apply a template. If I was listing my house, I would check my residential listing template. But since I'm selling it, I want to use residential buyer. Okay. It's going to automatically bring in the 3 forms I need. And you can see them all right here. As far as filling in that's going to be a different training session. So the first thing you need to do is get your zip forms fixed up and then apply templates. I'll show you what my other template is. I can apply it to this property, residential listing. My listing template, it has a listing agreement, a seller's disclosure, a seller's estimated net proceeds, and an addendum for seller's disclosure on lead-based paint, and information about brokered services again. So those are the forms I use for listing. So work on that, get in there, make some mistakes, get some questions, and that'll help just as far as just getting familiar with how you do it. But try to get them on your computer, and then we'll go from there. Thanks.